Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some data that is really going unnoticed by the vast majority of people, and it's kind of shocking, frankly. I'm going to show you, among other things, the degree to which XRP is actually being adopted in a measurable way. I'm going to look at a particular metric, and I'm going to contrast it, the degree to which it's being adopted today versus a year ago, and it's not even close. It is just absolutely not even close. And I'm going to talk about the implications of this, but I think ultimately XRP is going to pop. I don't know when. I don't pretend to know. I'm not some sort of chart analyst. And I want to cite too here at the outset, look, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. There's nothing special about me. I'm just an enthusiast in the space, just as you are. There's, again, nothing special about me. I just enjoy making YouTube videos purely as a hobby. And I really do enjoy making these videos. It's just, I don't know what it is. You know, it's just, and I mentioned this, it's been a while since I said this, so I guess it's worth mentioning again. But, you know, when I entered the world of crypto in late 2017, it just completely grabbed me. And I don't know exactly why. You could name some surface level things, but like, for instance, you know, investing in a cryptocurrency, that's going to make you more interested in it once you have skin in the game. So that's a surface level piece of it. I don't know why it grabbed me so intensely, but it just did. And so, you know, what I found in life is that you don't choose what you're interested in, rather you discover it. And if you discover that's something that just grabs you that hard, you should just run with it. And that's why I did. And that's why ultimately I finally launched this channel, and I enjoy making videos every single day. I just have a blast doing this. It really is my favorite hobby. And so I want to share with you the things that I learned, but I don't want to pretend like I'm some sort of guru. I don't want anybody to think I'm someone or something that I'm not, because I learn from all sorts of people in the XRP community. I'm not a know-it-all. But it's really cool. But see, that's the sense of community that I really enjoy. Like, I say very frequently that the XRP community is the best community in all of crypto. And that's not just my mouth flapping here. I very firmly believe that. I've made a lot of friends here in the community along the way. And it's just been a blast here. So let me point this out too, moving forward, like the market, despite, and who knows what the price is by the time you see this, like, look, XRP is, as I record this, 43.7 cents, Bitcoin at $45,472, the market cap for the asset class, 1,464 billion, Bitcoin dominance down to 57.9%. So, who knows what it's going to look like by the time you see this, but the short-term price action isn't going to matter for this next metric that I'm going to highlight right here, which is XRP account activations, which I've been covering, but I haven't talked about the account activations probably in a number of weeks. I don't know if it's been like 3 or 4 weeks, but it's been, when I hadn't checked in a while, and I looked at it today and I was just like, holy hell, it's like the growth, it jumped, and it's pretty well just persisting at this new higher level, while the price action of XRP is doing what it's doing. Now that's interesting. So let me point out a few things. So the chart on your screen right now, where I'm circling, it's one in the middle of your screen. This is the number of new XRP account activations going back to January 1st of last year through today. So this chart is over a year's worth of data. Now there's some little outlier bits here and there, but generally in January and February of last year, there were typically anywhere between, 400 to 500 new XRP accounts created per day, 400 to 500. And you could see some days like here where it jumped up. Here's 784 in one day. So there's some days where it was a little bit higher. Here's a day where it's like 1,100. But for the most part, you can see in like here, you're jumping even into March, 500 accounts per day. And that was normal. And think about this. I want to point this out too before I forget. During the last market cycle, when XRP ran up to almost $4, there were, I don't remember the exact number. I believe it was a little bit less, or maybe it was right around a total of 1 million XRP accounts in existence. And with just that small percentage of humans on the planet having ever held XRP at any point in time, XRP went from 20-something cents to almost $4. Now, if you're talking about 1 million accounts, and there are about 7.8 billion people on the planet, that would mean that about 0.001% of humans that exist today at that point had ever held XRP, and some of them would have exited their positions. 0.001% of humans is all it took to get XRP to run up to $4. So when people say, "Oh, but market cap, it could never be pick your high, price target," I'm like, that's look, I don't know how high the price of XRP will ever be, but that's a bad argument. Like the argue of market cap, this or that. I'm like, no. $4 with 0.001% of humans on the planet? Come on, guys. And so how many accounts have been opened today? 2,592,117 at the time I record this. Let's just round it, 2.6 million. So again, today, 2.6 million. When this rallied, it was closer to 1 million. So with this many more humans in it, and mind you, it doesn't mean that they're all holding it now. Like some people could have exited and left their, the 20 XRP reserve in the wallet and moved on with life. I get that. That's fine. But I also think that most people, I have a hunch on this. I'll talk about it more in another video, but I have a hunch that most people that have ever held XRP never went to the trouble of setting up their own wallet. I think they're using shared wallets. So I think that 2.6 million number, there's a chance it's higher. I don't know how much higher, but all I can do is work with the data that's in front of me. That's why I'm saying 0.001%. And so now you're talking about, 0.0026% of humans roughly, because this is the best data that I have to go with right now, frankly, because I don't know how many people actually create their own wallets. But so let's just say it is 0.0026% of humans, and we're sitting at, whatever it is, 40 something cents as I record this. Well, that's kind of something. But what's happening here? What's actually happening? We're talking about tremendous account increases. And so here's the same chart, but I changed the timeline. This is just going back 30 days. Number of new accounts activated. Now you can see there was this spike towards the beginning part of February because there was that failed pump and dump attempt that I talked about, where we did have at a peak, and it's kind of neat to see 12,632 accounts created. But throw that out and look at what happened here. You're seeing like regularly, 3,500, 4,000 accounts being created up here, over 5,000 one day, over 5,300 in one day, 3,600, 4,400. You can see as I'm scrolling through this, 5,600 almost. And just again, a year ago, you were looking at more like 500. It's like a 10-fold increase in accounts in some instances year over year. That's insane. You guys do understand at some point, like... how could this thing not blast up? Here's something that Credible Crypto has been saying forever, and I've known this to be true. I just like the way that he just really very simply words it. It's very efficient to get the idea across. But he says, the longer a cryptocurrency consolidates, just in terms of sideways price action, the greater it's going to go parabolic. Once it finally hits. And so I make a silly analogy. From time to time I brought it up. It's like, imagine like you have a hose, and it's shooting out water, but then you fold it over so you kink it, and the water can't get out. When you unkink it, it just squirts out extra fast. And so it's like that. There's this hose that's kinked right now, and when you unkink it, it's going to squirt out a bunch of XRP all over. It's kind of like that. Silly analogy, but it's this idea of a buildup and then an ultimate thrust. That's what we're talking about here. And historically, when Crypto talks about that, historically, that is what has occurred. That's why there's so many people that said XRP is not going anywhere last market cycle until mid-December 2017, when it melted faces, and there was like so much face goo all over the pavement because of all of this. And it's just crazy to me. Like, nobody's freaking paying attention to this right now. Look at this metric. People are coming on board, and they're not. I mean, some of them are in and out fine, fly-by-night investors. But I'm telling you, with this many people coming in consistently, like, that's got to mean something, don't you think? And so it certainly caught my eye, and I wanted to share that with you. I just find it of an incredible interest here. And I firmly believe that XRP, out of the 7,000 plus cryptos, is not going to be the only one that doesn't pump. Like, you're telling me that S-word coins are pumping and an XRP with real-world utility is not going to? A cryptocurrency's been in the top 10 for pretty well its entire existence. It's not going to pump at some point? I don't buy it. No way to know for sure, but I definitely do not buy such an argument here. And I'm telling you, with this many people coming in, the price is just getting that more pent up, and at some point it's got to burst. I just don't know when. That's my unprofessional opinion. So again, take it for what it's worth. But that's how I genuinely feel about this. And still, so like I've been purchasing XRP. I did purchase for almost 3 full years. I got my last bag filled early October of last year, and I haven't purchased since then because I decided to diversify. But XRP is still my largest holding. It's my favorite one. It's the one I'm most confident in. But I did get to a point where I was like, okay, I need to diversify because at this point I have an XRP spending problem. I was like, I seriously have to stop. And so I finally did. But I'm excited to see where this goes. This is really cool stuff here. And it's interesting too that, you know, if you ask chart analysts in like say fall of last year, when's XRP going to pop? Most of them were just kind of ballparking like, well, I don't know, but you know, probably late 2021. And it's interesting, as I've been listening over the last few weeks, many of those same chart analysts are saying the new data, the information they're getting from the chart says maybe a little bit sooner, maybe more like even June potentially of this year. So I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm just going on the ride with you guys. Like I'm just like I don't know when. But I still firmly believe that it will. Things just pop off in an order that you can't always predict with any reasonable amount of certainty, but I still believe that it's going to happen at some point and part of the reason is markets are so irrational. Like, so I value the actual utility of XRP, but I think the average retail speculator doesn't sufficiently care. I think that's really clear. And they're just behaving in such a way that, money goes in everything. Pretty much, if it's a mid and large cap coin, it goes in eventually. And that's how what happened last time. I purchased 17 cryptos November of 2017. Every single one of them went parabolic. They did. And it did make a damn bit of sense. It doesn't mean that they're all going to be around in a decade. It doesn't mean any of them are going to change the world necessarily. But they all went parabolic because reasons. The real reason is it's because we're in a nascent asset class. There hasn't been sufficient maturity to a point where people are parsing out in a meaningful way the differences between cryptocurrencies, but still to me that represents a monetary opportunity. But in terms of long-term viability, I'm not convinced that all these coins that even I'm purchasing now are going to be here. But XRP, that could be different. It's functionally being used. It's not some sort of science experiment. So as long as it continues to solve a real-world problem and receive sufficient adoption, I think it could be long-term viable. And if it's going to be around here decades from now in a meaningful way, I personally believe it'll be worth a fortune relative to where it's at now. And people just be like, what? You had an opportunity to purchase XRP around 40, 50 cents? And the answer will be yes. But anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.